Hello, welcome to this video. This is a video for Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, or TABS for short. It is a bracket based off of the cheapest characters, and they will be ranked off of price. I know all of them, it says that they're all going to be cheapest characters, but they're not all the same price. So, like, the peasant will be 30 points, which is the cheapest in the legacy area. So, that means the peasant will be representing the legacy faction, while the good faction will be represented by a devout gauntlet, which is 200 points, which is one of the highest. And this will be a bracket with two sides. Good and evil both get first round bye, and then we'll be going into it. I'll show you in this video. Alright, so here we are in the bracket. I have the round one bracket on the bottom. Here on the left side, we have the left side of the bracket. On the right side, we have the right side of the bracket, obviously. And for round one, we have the good faction with the devout gauntlet getting the first round bye. It's worth 200 points. And then over here for the first battle, we have the two-seeded Dynasty Samurai with his sword versus the 7th-seeded Legacy Peasant. And over here, we have the 3-seeded Pirate with his dual Flintlocks. I don't remember his name. I think his name is Flintlock. And then we have the 6th-seeded Farmer. And then this battle could end up pretty well. Then we have the 4-seeded Viking with the headbutter and a sharp spike on the head. Watch out for that. And the 5th-seeded Tribal Clubber. And he's got quite a big wooden stick. And then over here we have the Shadow Walker, Seed 1 Evil. And then we have the 2-seeded Secret Ballooner versus the 7th-seeded Renaissance Painter. See, here in the video, you can actually see he has 4 eyes. I don't know how he got that. I don't know if it sucks. He'll probably have an advantage on the field with that. But then moving on to the next one, we have the 3-seeded Ancient Shield Bearer versus the 6th-seeded Medieval Bard. Plays a pretty good tune. I don't think he's good in battle though. And then moving on, if you hear that hissing, that is the dynamite for the 4th-seeded Wild West Dynamite Thrower versus the 5th-seeded Spooky Skeleton Warrior. He's pretty scary. I wouldn't fight him. Alright, well, let's move on. And here we are with the Dynasty map. The Samurai is the higher seed, so we will be fighting on the Dynasty map. We have the Samurai versus the Peasant, the number 2 seed versus the number 7th seed. And there is a big hole in the middle, which this battle really, I think, could go anyway. And the Samurai backed into his own hole. And the Peasant moves on with a big upset. The 7th seed Peasant moves on to the next round. Alright, here we are in the Pirate map. We have the 3-seeded Pirate Flintlock going up against the 6th-seeded Farmer Halfling. This battle may be quick, it may be long, it may be a slow battle. And the Halfling just eats the bullets right up. We actually have a battle here, and he's just giving some mean punches. Oh, and he gives him a mean left hook to make the Halfling do a somersault. I don't think any of us knew he could do. Moving on. Here we have the 4th-seeded Viking in home territory with the headbutter versus the 5th-seeded Tribal Clubber. This battle could go anyway. It seems pretty even with the seed ranking, but you never know. And we have a yell from the headbutter going straight in, living up to its name, getting that spike in the clubber's foot. I did say watch out for that, but the Viking moves on to the next round. Here we are in the map Farmer Snow. The secret faction actually does not have a map, so I decided to pick Farmer Snow because the only time this map is actually set to a certain faction is when it's winter time. I think they do that. But we have the 7th seeded Renaissance Painter versus the 2-seeded Secret Ballooner. And this battle really could go any way, as shown before. We have the Ballooner jumping into the Renaissance Painter, doing what I like to call the up and away tactic. And he gives 2 good punches to end the round and take out his opponent. Ballooner on to the next round. Alright, so here we are in the Ancient 1 map. We have the Shield Bearer versus the Bard, the 3 seed versus the 6 seed. There isn't really a great spot to spawn them. I like to spawn in the middle of the map, so it's just evened out of the map. And I thought, why not do it like on the campaign, on a campaign, you can find final destinations where they're just on the grid. And the Shield Bearer scares the Bard off, making him break his ankles, allowing the Shield Bearer to get an easy victory to move on to the next round.
The party, woo!
Alright, so here we are in the Wild West. We have the 4-seeded Dynamite Thrower versus the 5th-seeded Spooky Scary Skeleton. This battle, these tend to go usually either way, but alright, so we have the Dynamite Thrower throwing her dynamite, doesn't even get to explode, and she gives 2 punches to move on to the next round. Alright, so this is the final look after the round 1 battles. We have the 7th-seeded Legacy going on, the 3-seeded Pirate going on, the 4th-seeded Viking moving on, the 2-seeded Secret moving on, the 3-seeded Ancient moving on, the 4-seeded Wild West moving on to the second round. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. This is only part 1. There will be part 2 and part 3. Part 2 and 3 may be in the same video, maybe even the finals or the championship. But tune into the next video.